Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Yoon Jung-min. With the Kim-Putin summit expected sooner rather than later, the North Korean leader's heavily armored train full of military top brass crossed into Russia this morning. Now we're learning it's moving northward rather than towards Vladivostok. Our defense correspondent, Choi Min-jung, joins us live from the Defense Ministry in Seoul. Min-jung, you have been following this closely. What is the latest?
Well, Kim Jong-un seems to be moving north toward Russia's southeastern city of Khabarovsk instead of heading to Vladivostok, which many anticipated would be where he meets Vladimir Putin. South Korea's defense ministry said Tuesday morning that it believes Kim entered Russia early in the day using his private train. Japanese media outlets also reported that Kim's train had arrived at Hasan Station this morning and was welcomed with a ceremony. And later on, a Russian media outlet reported that Kim headed to the city of Uzursk. Sources are now saying Kim's train is likely to take the Trans-Siberian Railway and head toward the Russian spaceport Vostochny Cosmodrome. The leader is reportedly being accompanied by his foreign minister, Choi Min-jung, as well as his top military officials. This trip to Russia is Kim's first international trip since the COVID-19 pandemic, which forced North Korea to close its borders for more than 3 years.
And do we have any idea when and where exactly Kim and Putin will be meeting and what would be on their agenda?
Right. This morning, the Kremlin announced that Kim and Putin will hold a summit in Russia's Far East within the coming days. The summit is widely anticipated to take place on either September 12th or 13th, meaning today or tomorrow. And regarding the summit venue, many expected it to take place in Vladivostok. This is where the two leaders met for the first time more than 4 years ago, and it's also where the Russia-led Eastern Economic Forum, reportedly attended by Putin, is taking place until Wednesday. But given Kim's route so far, there is the growing possibility that it may take place somewhere else, possibly the Russian spaceport. Now, Putin has also announced plans to visit the spaceport as well. Now, talks between the two leaders will likely be focused on an arms deal, and considering that a number of military personnel are on the trip, including the regime's two top military officials, Lee Byung-chul and Park Jong-cheon, Seoul's defense ministry said it is closely watching whether the two countries will negotiate arms trade. Speaking to reporters on Tuesday, Moscow's deputy foreign minister said humanitarian aid to North Korea may be discussed as well, and Russia also hinted at discussing UN sanctions imposed on the regime. There are also growing concerns that Moscow would violate UNSC resolutions that prohibit any arms trade with North Korea. Back to you, Jung-min.
All right. Thank you, Min-jung.